Hello, everyone. I have Lara here with us, and she was part of the Unleashed CEO program. I was lucky enough to have her in the group program, and we're just going to go over a little bit about what we did together and how it helped. Hello.
Yay. I'm here
Hello.
for it.
Yay.
Hello.
So, what were your initial thoughts, or maybe like any concerns you had about going into the program?
To be completely honest, I did not have any concern of the content or anything like that. I had worries about like paying for it because I had just lost a big client, but then I was like, you know what? This is an investment in myself and I know what I'm going to gain. So I was like, I'm doing it. I'm going to make the investment in myself and I am glad I did.
Yay. I'm so glad to hear that. Um, So how has this program, I guess two questions. How has it changed your life personally and then professionally? Because we know that the two bleed into each other as an entrepreneur.
That's a great question. So I would credit the work that we did. You helped me so much to remember, especially with like the ADD, and I've like started three businesses at the same time. Like I can bounce, I get anxiety, and you really what stuck with me the most because it's been like maybe a month since or a couple months since we finished, and was the reconnecting to myself was so powerful. The like and the language that I used to speak to myself. There was so many things that I did learn from this course, but that was like so big to slow down, connect to myself. You taught us a lot of like somatic practices that I do during my workday. Like if I'm feeling overwhelmed, and sometimes my overwhelm comes out in hyper distraction because I am so overwhelmed. So that's when I'm like, oh, I'm doing this thing, I need to, or I'm feeling anxiety, I need to just tap or get up and breathe and walk around and just like take a drink of water, like reconnect to my physical body, regroup, recenter. That was so helpful because sometimes I end up getting so overwhelmed with all the things that I have to do. I don't really do any of them well. And then I just bounce around in like the ethers or the ethers and so it's been really amazing practice to remind myself that. And then also, you were really big on language and how we speak to ourselves and how we like that was really helpful too, because I can be very big on like beating myself up and, over apologizing. And you really taught me how to just also quiet my mind and just be patient with myself and be like, this is what I can do today. And the rest will still be here tomorrow. And that's okay. I don't need to over explain myself. I don't need to beat myself up. And that was incredibly helpful. In fact, it was so helpful. I got the word abracadabra tattooed on my arm because
Oh my
that was
gosh.
kind of something we talked about was that words have power and how we speak to ourselves has power. And that word means what I speak, I create. And I kind of got the idea in our class.
I love that so much.
Marie, you impacted me so much. I tattooed my arm.
Now I need to have a rabbit tattooed on me. It's like it could be our twin, our
Yes.
twinning.
Oh my
I love
goodness.
that so much.
Yeah.
Was there any like tangible outcomes you noticed for your business or just anything that you can relate to with that?
100%. I think the more we worked, the more you helped me work on like kind of calming my mind and calming my body. It became really, really clear to me that the more I calm myself, the more mental bandwidth I have for my business.
Mhm.
Businesses plural, and so I'm feeling so much more organized. I am pushing so far ahead in my business. Like I relaunched my beauty brand on TikTok shop. I figured out to like do my coaching community solely on Instagram and I'm working digital marketing for both. And I'm just taking my time and I'm sleeping well too because my nervous system isn't so zhuzhed up with all of these like ruminating, looping thoughts.
Mhm. That's amazing. And by the way, I think you're brilliant for doing that. I've been noticing that. And I think you're brilliant to market your product on TikTok and to do your coaching on Instagram.
Thank you.
Two funnels like seem to like work for me. Like seems like
Yeah.
TikTok is a place you would want to put a product. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
they actually just opened TikTok Shop to the US for sellers, and they're like trying to compete with Amazon, I think,
Hmm.
to attract sellers. And I'm really shocked at like how small business friendly they are to people who have product.
Right.
It's pretty amazing. They're amazing.
Oh, that's incredible. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of people might be hesitant because this group program involves microdosing. Is
Mhm.
there any hesitancy that you had, or just kind of like the outcomes that you saw? What did you notice with that experience?
I would say it actually surprised me a little bit in the beginning. So I have microdosed before. And so I think I was a little more comfortable in that sense that I have micro and macro dosed. And I remembered a couple years ago when I did microdose, it helped me a lot. Just like ground, connect to myself. I think I was a little nervous this time just because I don't know why. I just remembered feeling like a little nervous about it, even though I had done it before.
Mhm.
And I still like I don't know what that was about. I don't know if that's like the societal stigma we put around it, or maybe I was like, oh, what if I, dose too much and like, by accident. And it was actually wonderful. It was like because of microdose, you just feel more focused. You just feel focused, connected, creative. It's not like you're not feeling anything else. It's just helping. And I am a firm believer that medicine helps you rewire your brain. And so I credit the work that we did with the microdosing as helping me remember what we actually talked about too. Because I think sometimes in coaching or therapy, we learn all this great stuff, and then it's like I don't even remember what we talked about. So I
Mm.
felt like it was almost like what we would discuss and the activities we would do in class with you was like planting seeds, and then doing the microdose was like watering those seeds, if that makes sense.
I love
You
that.
know,
That
it's like
makes
they kind of went, yeah, it's like they went hand in hand. And then I also discovered it kind of, I believe, led me to to microdose a different mushroom as well at the Amanita at night,
yeah.
and it's been like rocking my sleep. And it's been so I think even that has been like, oh my gosh, like this led me to this, which
Yes.
led me to like now I'm sleeping
Which
really well.
which you keep saying the word led. And the whole goal of this program, and just me in general as a coach, is to help entrepreneurs become self-led.
Oh
So
yeah.
do you
Yes.
feel like that was an outcome? Do you feel more
Yes.
led as a
Yeah.
CEO? Yeah,
I
that's amazing.
actually I feel like a CEO now.
Yeah.
So which is so strange because that just clicked with me right now. Like when I at the beginning of us working together, I felt like a hot mess. I felt like, I mean, I think we discussed somewhere else that like I remember the first one or two sessions we had, I was like, oh, I'll just take this while I'm at the gym and working out. Right? Like I felt like busy. I felt like this low level buzz and hum of anxiety. I felt like a mess. I didn't really feel like I had this belief that I was a CEO. It felt like I was spinning my wheels, just trying to throw spaghetti at the wall to see what would stick. And then, like, I would do that, or like the wind up toy that just bounces off the wall. Now I'm like, I didn't even realize that until you said that right now. I feel like a freaking CEO. I'm like, yeah, I have three businesses and
Right.
they're all have a place in my day, and they're all moving forward, and I have mental space for each and every one of them, and I am the founder of each and every one of them.
And you were before, but the thing is now you have confidence, which is the C of self that we embody, one of the eight. You have like it just like every time I see you on social media, I'm like, this is a different version of Lara than I've ever seen before, honestly.
Thank you.
Amazing.
I actually didn't realize that. You're right. I was that before. I didn't realize.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Always have
was
that.
that before. Oh, the only thing that shifted was the work we did. And now I have a belief that I am that. Whereas before I was that, I just didn't believe it.
And because we use kind of more like a parts work, like internal family systems, do you believe through the 8 weeks that maybe more of your parts are on board with that? Like all the
Yes.
parts of you?
I know
Yeah.
that I don't want to make you have like a super long testimonial, but I wanted to share something really quickly that I got from our work. So we really honed in on parts work. And I have like my 3 parts that I identified, like my me, wise adult Lara, the CEO, little girl Lara, who has all this like trauma and abandonment, and then like primal protector Lara, who was like came out as a teenager who would just like fight everybody, right? Like to protect myself. And when we identified that, I unconsciously talked, like I can visualize talking to little girl Lara a lot. And I think you helped in when we would work together, I would be like verbally dumping about something and you would just hold space and be like, yeah, like little girl Lara is really activated right now. What do you want to tell her? And it kind of helped stick in my head that that is a real valid part of me. And so now I kind of visualize, I can close my eyes in those moments, feel in my body, like how old is this feeling? And I can visualize I visualized just blackness with like water on the ground almost, and I could see her. And she smiles all the time now. I was
Mhm.
just telling my son this. I was like, she used to always look at me with like fear or crying or need lots of hugs. And now, like, I could see her in my mind's eye. So cute, just like playing with blocks, playing with toys. Every time I come and visit her, she's just like, hi. And like, it's so different.
That's, oh, you gave me chills. That is the work. You have healed like a past version of yourself that now, because you've healed her, the beliefs are probably different with her about who she is and how she shows up. Yeah.
We've like unzipped the universe and peeked our head in so I could show her, like, look at what you grow up to become.
Oh, I love that. Unzipped. I've never heard that before. That's so beautiful. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. And yeah, it was a beautiful journey. And I can't wait to see how you continue to grow. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for like hosting this, teaching it, creating it. And I just want to say anyone who is curious about this, reach out to Marie. You could not be in better hands than with this woman. And if you have any concerns about any part of it, people are welcome to reach out to me too, because I really believe in what you've done and where I'm at now. Um, is so different and it was so peaceful getting there. And I don't know if that was the microdosing or your it was just a peaceful journey. It wasn't like I don't know, it was really beautiful.
Yeah.
And
I
it
think
was
that's
worth
what we forget. It doesn't have to be horrendous and hard. The journey
yes.
can
Yeah.
be for sure. And that's how we move through things, but also can be very beautiful, this journey of healing. Yeah.
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 Yeah. The mushrooms have taught me that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.